so appreciate your support.
I just love you, man, and I look forward to seeing you again. I'm not going to be a stranger.
Listen to his show. Absolutely, 95.5.
Tell me why, why can't we live together?
Shelley Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant, my friends. On Monday, we're back from the weekend. I had a great weekend. I got to talk about my weekend and everything that transpired and went on this weekend, but I've got to start here. I remember I went to Syracuse University, and won't tell you when, but I went to Syracuse University. And living in New York, growing up and being raised in New York City, Syracuse was right up in Syracuse, New York. So you just drove north. And that highway that we used to drive back and forth to school was famous for New York State troopers pulling kids over as they were driving back and forth to school. This was years ago. This was before the whole driving while black term came about. And quite honestly, driving back to school during those 4 years of going to Syracuse, the car that I was driving in, if not driving myself, we got pulled over and pulled over three different times driving back and forth. The school never had anything, never was doing anything. We're just driving back and forth to school. And for years, when you asked about it, you asked the state troopers or law enforcement about it, they would say that this highway was a highway where drugs were being transported from the cities into the upstate area, downstate, people driving down to places like Florida and places like that to get drugs to transport up this major highway. And so that was kind of the law enforcement's excuse at that time. You fit a profile. That's what they would say. You fit a profile. We pull over 10 cars, and 5 of them would have nothing. The 5 that did all looked like you, young black men at your age, driving cars. And when we rented cars to go back and forth to school, we always rented a nice car because we were renting a car. We didn't own cars, but we wanted to drive something nice. And so they would say that out front when they would say, okay, nothing here, keep it moving. They'd search our suitcases, our bags, and everything. You fit a profile. That's what they would always say. And the term is profiling. You're in a certain neighborhood, you fit a certain profile, the police have reasonable expectation to believe that you may be up to no good. Called profiling. Right now we see profiling with Hispanics. In Texas, they're talking about it. Hispanics being profiled. You're in Texas, you're in a car with Hispanic males of a certain age. You may more than likely be. It's reasonable for the police officer to believe that you may be here illegally, so they pull you over. It's been made illegal, but it's still a law enforcement tool. And I'm not sure necessarily that I wouldn't do the same thing. If you're in law enforcement, you're trying to catch people that are up to no good, possibly. And if there's a group of people in a certain neighborhood who all look the same way, are always up to no good, you probably will end up pulling those people over more than not. Is it right? No, it's not right. Is it against the Constitution? Absolutely, it's against the Constitution. And I'm not giving law enforcement an out. I'm just saying I can understand it. Doesn't make it fair, doesn't make it right. But I'm beginning to believe that why does profiling only exist in one category or in one case or in just a case of certain people? Once again, my friends, the same type, the same look, dare I say the same race, the same gender has gone off and shot innocent people once again. Over and over and over, we see it over and over and over. Either it's in schools, it's at a burger place, it's on a highway, it's someplace, a big country musical festival, someplace, the same type, the same gender, the same race, dare I say, are always shooting innocent people randomly. Why aren't they being profiled? It's not right. It's not fair. But I understand law enforcement doing it. I see the shooter in this case in Idaho, and I'm thinking to myself, didn't anybody see this guy coming? He looks like every other shooter. Why wasn't he profiled? Why aren't we profiling 12 to 13 to 20-year-old young white men who are disaffected, who are online all day angry, who have no friends, who have no girlfriends? Why aren't we profiling them? Why aren't we tracking their social media use? Seems to be the same type every time. Every single time I pick up the newspaper and I see shooting. Now, looks like the last one. If that's the game we want to play with other groups of people. I'm just here to throw something out into the universe. I've seen people look a certain way, driving in a car, pulled over because they fit a profile. I now see another group of people who live in certain areas who are Hispanic looking, who are profiled and are pulled over because they fit a look. They look like the others. So why after shooting, after schools, after malls, after all of these things that are happening, and it's the same look, the same gender, why isn't law enforcement profiling? If you can tell me when I go search, I'm standing around in my house and I say, I really would like a new wagon to pull my tents and my chairs to festivals, and all of a sudden a bunch of wagon ads pop up on my social media, why can't we profile these kids, these boys, these disaffected, evil thugs, dare I say? Why not? Are we incapable of seeing that they could possibly be school shooters, mall shooters, In-N-Out Burger shooters? Or we just don't think it could, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Profiling exists. It happens. Law enforcement profiles. And I'm not sure that I'm necessarily against it because I understand the thinking behind it. But if you think it's okay, then profile everyone. There's a certain group of people who are of a certain age, who are of a certain gender, who continuously shoots up innocent people in random places, like churches, like malls, like schools, like universities. Let's start profiling them. Maybe we can cut down on the innocents being killed. And shout out to Mr. Jordan Salinas. Mr. Jordan Salinas witnessed a 2021 mass shooting. Shooter looked the same. And he immediately jumped into action this weekend, saving countless lives. He and a off-duty sheriff. Jordan Salinas is a hero. God bless him for coming to the rescue of all those people. But let's start profiling these young men who look the same, because that's really what profiling is. The Shelley Winter Show, 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. When we come back, I want to talk about, you know what, Iran. We'll be right back.